Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is KP, and today I have a video speaking to young adults and young teens who get put out after graduation or when they turn 18. Many people don't realize how common that is in our households today, but it's very common that a lot of young adults get put out. And just being honest, it's either one or two reasons that you get put out. It's either your fault or it's your parents' fault. So we're going to dive into both. First, I'll go over why it could be your fault, since that's the fastest one that I can explain. So let's go. Okay, so one thing I do, I keep it real. I don't sugarcoat. I don't try to protect your feelings or nothing like that. I'm just honest. If you get put out and it's your fault, that's because you're not being responsible. You're not either following your parents' rules, you're not doing what they ask you to do. You want to party instead of work. You want to hang out with friends. You want to, do things like that. Get in trouble, do the wrong thing, make bad decisions. You know if you're that person. Nobody has to tell you that, but I'm here to tell you this. Nobody owes you anything in this world, not even your parents. Nobody owes you nothing. Everything that you got and everything that you will get, you're going to have to get out here and get it on your own. Apparently you don't have parents that's willing to help, willing to enable you, not help, because that's enabling. Now, until you can become responsible, mature up, if you like to, you're going to have to let all that go. If you like to hang out and party with friends and stuff like that, you're going to have to let all that go. Otherwise, I stand with your parents. You too irresponsible. And nobody is required to take care of no grown adults. Now, helping is one thing, and allowing you to get on your feet is one thing. But if you're irresponsible, then you're going to have to take accountability yourself, because nobody is responsible for taking care of your grown self. So if that's you, then it's your fault that you got put out, and it's going to be you having to step up, take responsibility, and get on top of your game in order to get yourself back right. And 9 times out of 10, your parents not going to let you come back until you show them that you change. So that's the best way I can explain that. We'll move on to if it's not your fault, if it's the parents' fault. So let's go. I want to make sure y'all know if I'm looking down, it's because I have notes so that I can stay on track. But one of the main reasons why a lot of young adults get put out, many times that's my bad, y'all. I'm just getting started and already loud vehicles passing by my window. It's open. But many times you get put out because it's a toxic relationship, toxic home already. In my case, I was put out. My mother was an alcoholic my whole life. It was abusive. It was just horrible, mentally, physically, everything. It was abusive. I went out of my way to make good grades. I went out of my way to do good. I cooked, I cleaned. My grandma taught me all that stuff. And, I just tried to be a good person, but nothing I did was ever good enough. My mama started putting me out when I was 16. And so, it's hard when you don't have anybody. They haven't taught you anything, and you really don't understand it. You're just going through a lot of emotions. So the very first thing I want you to understand is that you are not a victim. You are not a victim of your circumstances. So go ahead and get that in your head right now. Look, this is only temporary. You're going to make it. You're going to make it through. So put that in your mind that you're going to make it through. Just know that you are not a victim. Always remember that. You're strong, you got the strength, it's within you, and you can make it through this regardless of what it looks like right now. Okay, the next thing that you should know is your mindset. Okay, I understand that you're young, but when you're put in a position like that, it forces you to have to grow up. You have to mature a lot faster than other people who are not going through that situation. So, mindset. Number one, always be open-minded. Always be open-minded and willing to learn and question things. Question everything in your life. Make sure that you always focus on keeping an open mind. Always focus on learning. But I don't know if you know anything about religion. I had a hard time with God starting out. I didn't think God loved me. I didn't think God had anything to do with me. But I realized later on in life that everything I went through was God strengthening me, teaching me, showing me things. So all I can do is advise you to start early on. Don't wait until you almost 40 like me and realize that. I want to let you know right now that people say this all the time and it's true. Seek God. Pray, pray, and pray. All you got to do is pray and trust in God. Go deep, dive deep, do research, understand what that means, but you got to have something to work towards, but you got to have an open mind also. You have to be willing to learn and willing to understand. And if you are a person like me who went out your way trying to do good and stuff, it won't be too hard for you to have an open mind and easy to learn, depending on the situation you came from. So that's number 2. Your mindset, have an open mind, but always seek God. All right, number 3. Okay, so you got put out. What do? Now you either call a relative and let them know, and they let you come and live with them, or you may have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and their family let you come and live with them. But either way it go, you got put out and you have to live with somebody else. So the main thing you need to know about that is to respect other people's home. Respect their home. You can't move in with anybody, not even family, and expect that you can freely do things that you want to do. That's their home. They have their own set of rules. So it's a blessing that they allow you to live there. And remember, nobody owes you anything, whether you've been hurt or not. And so respect their homes. Help out. Always help out when you're living with somebody. If they cooking, you wash the dishes. If they sweeping, you mop the floor. Like, offer to do stuff. Make sure you keep your area clean. Make sure you do right by their home. If they say, I'm knocking my door at 10 o'clock and you can't come in, and you need to be in that door by 9:30. Get you plenty of time to be in their house. I mean, you just have to follow those rules because it's their house. And you got to respect their home. And then also doing extra. If you do have money, then offer to pay for something. Offer to buy tissue or surprise them. You ain't got to offer, just see what type of tissue they like and buy some tissue. Or buy a paper towel or soap or whatever. If they don't ask for any of that, then make sure that they not taking care of you. Make sure that you supplying your own stuff while you living there. But the main thing you need to know, it don't matter how old you are. That is temporary. You cannot live with them people forever. So you're going to have to put it in your mind that this is not permanent. It's only temporary. The next thing I want you to do is get you a notebook and start making a plan. Always be learning something. YouTube is free. Everything that I learned about budgeting and all that stuff, it started with YouTube. So while you living with somebody, especially if you don't have a job or anything to do, don't be sitting there scrolling on social media all day. Use that time to learn something. You can invest in yourself even if it's for free. Get on YouTube and search how to budget, how to save money, how to invest, how to find a side hustle, you can learn how to type and get a work from home job. You can learn how to do all type of things just by using YouTube. So whatever resources you have, if you have a phone, get on YouTube and start learning. The main reason why I want you to learn about money and budgeting is because you're going to need that knowledge. You're going to need money to get out these people's houses and stuff. So you're going to need that knowledge. Go ahead and get it now while you got all this free time and while you stand out here with somebody else, especially if you're not working. Get that knowledge now so that when you do get in the position, you already know what to do. That is so important. I can't stress it enough. And also, when you're learning about budget, I suggest you focus on learning about a zero-based budget and tips about saving money. Saving money. I like to use the cash envelope system, and I have another channel where I give some budgeting advice over there. I have a few budgeting videos over there. I'll link them down below. But don't just stop there. I want you to keep going. Just watch everything you can watch. Watch about planning, how to plan your life, how to get organized, all that, because you will need it and it will help you. But you have to learn about budgeting your money. Off top. That's before you even get started moving out of anything. You're going to have to know how to handle that money. So that's very important. And then stay focused. So you got your mindset right. You seeking God. You praying. But on the outside, it look hard. Like you going through this. It's uncomfortable. You living in these people's house and you don't really care for how things are. But you know you just got to deal with it for right now. Look, don't let that stuff stress you out. Keep it in the back of your mind that this is only temporary. It's not forever. I'm going to do better and things are going to get better. God is going to change my life. God is going to bless me as long as I keep on focusing on God. And so just know you got to stay focused. It's so easy to get discouraged and give up. Like it was so many times that I almost just gave up. But I'm so grateful I didn't. But if I had somebody telling me these things like stay focused, and seek God back then, I think I would have done a lot better. And that's why I'm on here telling you that. Keep that in your mind, that you got to stay focused. You got to, no matter what you see around you and what the circumstances look like, in the back of your mind, no, I'm not a victim. God's going to help me. I'm going to get out this situation. I'm going to do better. I'm going to have my own. And my life is going to get better than this. So keep that in your mind. This one right here, y'all. Okay, a lot of times we get put out, it be out of anger. And so you don't have anything, social security card, birth certificate, ID, nothing. Not even a piece of mail with your name on it or nothing. And then when it's time to get your birth certificate, you're going to need your ID and stuff. When you need your social security card, you need ID. And in order to get a birth certificate, you need the other. So it's like it's hard to get these things when you don't have any of them. And I'm working on a video right now. I'm researching. I'm calling these different offices, asking questions. Hey, what would a person do if they don't have anything? And I'm gathering all that information. So I will definitely come back with a video trying to explain how you would navigate if you don't have any of that stuff. But let me tell you, don't let that discourage you. Don't let it discourage you. There are ways to work around it. There are ways that you can get these things done. And like I said, I'm going to do my best to try to come at you. But if you have any of the, like if you have a social security card, birth certificate, use that to go get your ID. Make sure you get all of these documents, your social security card, your birth certificate, and your ID. If you don't have the money to pay for those things, then the social security card, I believe, is free, but you have to pay for a birth certificate and stuff. Some stuff you can't get online. But you may have to ask for help for somebody because a lot of you will need an ID for a job. You'll need to know your social security number for a job. And so sometimes we have to ask for help. And if there's somebody willing to loan you a few dollars or pay for that birth certificate for you instead of putting the money in your hand, let them do it. Thank them. And put that in your mind that you're going to pay them back. Make sure you thank them, show gratitude, show appreciation, and put it in your mind that you're going to pay them back. But once you get those documents, okay, so just say, for instance, you're 18, and now you have your information. If you don't have any type of health insurance or nothing like that, go for government assistance. Go contact your local DHS office, fill out an application for Medicaid, try to apply for medical and dental if you can. At the age of 18, they likely won't give you food assistance. You have to be a certain age. I know in my state, you have to be a certain age and all that to get food assistance. But the head of the household can get it. But and if you're living in somebody else's household, they're the head of the household. So it just depends. You'll have to ask questions, do research online in your state on what age can qualify and stuff like that. So apply for Medicaid and Call, if they don't mail you a Medicaid card, call them and get you a copy of your Medicaid card. That's something that you can do when you're living with somebody, when you're not working, you don't have money, you don't have any of that. You can fill out that application for Medicaid for free, and you can, get that started for free. So make sure you do that. Another thing, if you are approved for Medicaid and or dental, medical and or dental, then the first thing I want you to do is get on the phone and find your doctor. Get online, search for doctors in your area that accepts Medicaid, that accepts that dental, and find you a doctor, find you a dentist. Call them, set you up an appointment, and get established with them. If you can make it to their office, by walking, or if you got a ride, or you just got to really do what you got to do. Everybody's situation is different. But I know at times, if I didn't have a ride, I would walk to the doctor's office or whatever I had to do, walk to wherever to get things done. So right now, we can't have any prideful moments or nothing like that. You can't be ashamed to walk. You can't be scared to call them doctors. You just pray about it. Pray about it. Ask God for strength. Ask God for knowledge. Ask God for boldness. Ask God to provide you with all those things. Confidence. Build yourself up. All of that is free. You can do that. Okay. As a mom, myself, I do have to remind you that even though you are living with somebody else at the moment, you're not living with your parents. None of your parents will guide you on what to do. But right now, you're not living with your parents. So, as a mother, I just have to remind you. Make sure you're brushing and flossing them teeth every day. Make sure you're taking a shower every day. Be clean. Clean your body. Make sure your hair combed. If you can't afford to get a haircut, groom it. Groom it the best you can. Exercise. Now, we tend to get out of school and we just give up on exercise. But there is no reason for anybody to be out of shape when they can move freely. Myself included. Anybody. And so exercise, even if it's just walking down to the park and walking the thing a few times, or up and down your street if there's not a park close by, do some jumping jacks, do some push-ups against the wall, some sit-ups, something. Make sure you do something to keep your body strong, keep your body in shape. I say that because you plan to work, you plan to get out of these people's house, and so you can't be lazy, you can't be laying around getting out of shape and then get on a job and they want you to get it, working in a factory or production or whatever, and you just tired and out of breath because you can't do it. I mean, keep yourself in shape and just be prepared for that. Okay, also, take vitamins if you can. Take vitamins, just keep up on that. Living with somebody, you really got to eat what they eat if you're not bringing in food and you don't have money. But always, throughout your whole life, even when you make it out this situation, because you will, but when you make it out, remember to try to eat healthy. Eat something healthy every day. Eat God's food. I call God's food is food that came straight from God, not out of a can. Fresh vegetables out the ground, fresh fruit out the ground, just fresh food with the seeds. Make sure that you are eating God's food, and keep yourself together. Once you get those documents, your ID, your birth certificate, and your social security card, make sure, my grandma taught me this, make sure you keep your ID on you at all times. Even when you leave the house, just run to the store for a minute, because for one, you never know what's going to happen if you get pulled over or anything. And then if something happened to you, they need to be able to identify you. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't wish anything bad to happen, but we never know. So always keep your ID on you. But that birth certificate and that social security card, memorize your social security number. If you got to say it 10 times a day until you get it, memorize that number, but you keep that card and that birth certificate at home. Don't bring that around with you nowhere. Leave it at home. What I do, you get like a folder or some type of something that you can put it in to protect it. You can put it in your dresser, under the drawer, in a safe place. You can put it in your closet, behind something. You can put it under a rug. You can put it under your bed mattress. Just somewhere that somebody's not going to come messing through your stuff and grab your social security number and stuff. Protect that number at all costs. People can use it to steal your identity, get things in your name, all that. So make sure you protect that social security number at all costs. But that's important. Okay, so now you got your ID and all that, and you've been living with people, they helping you out. But it's at a time now where you ready to make some money. You need to find a job. First of all, I want you to know you 18. All you did was go to school your whole life. You have no work history. So you can't expect to come out, boom, making a whole lot of money without any experience. People don't know that they can trust you with their job. So you may have to start off with an entry-level job. There are a lot of work from home jobs that's popping up now that you don't even have to have experience. So look into some of those. I mean, it's a lot of information on YouTube. On my personal Facebook page, if you can connect with me on my personal Facebook page, I can connect you with people who post them jobs all day, every day. So my Facebook page and all that will be in the description box. If you want to get connected to the people that I see posting them jobs that I trust, hit me up. You know, holler at me on Facebook. I don't mind. Let me see. But yeah, just expect to start out entry level and then plan to work your way up, especially when you have no experience. But look, you have to remember, it's a stepping stone. You're not here forever. This is just the start. Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah, it's wrong. Yeah, they shouldn't have put you out. And they didn't teach you nothing. But we here now, so we can't just sit around sulking in that. We got to just keep it in our mind. Okay, this is a stepping stone. So this job right here, I may have to flip a burger for a minute. But it's all right as long as it's bringing in the money. But the thing about that, it don't matter if you flipping a burger, washing cars, cutting some grass. It don't matter what you doing. Remember, you was already learning how to budget back then, before you ever started doing anything. Remember, I told you, get that notebook, start making a plan, learn something. I always be learning. So before that job come, I need you to know how to manage that money, or at least get started. Have a starting point somewhere. You can't just go out just spending. I mean, that just won't work. Okay, another thing, when it comes to these jobs, I have put in 10 years, I put in 3 or 4 years, like different jobs I've just put in. But let me tell you something. What I learned, that the jobs will let you go without any regards to you. So focus on being a good worker, but just know it ain't about them, it's about you. People say you're not supposed to get a job for the money, it's for your passion or whatever. But listen, if you know that job is a stepping stone and you know you're not going to be there forever, focus on the money. Focus on making as much money as you possibly can from that job. That don't mean be a lazy worker. Of course, you go in there and do your best, but focus on, if they offer overtime, take it. And every dollar of overtime you get, throw it into savings, because you know you're going to need an apartment or a house soon or something, or a car or whatever. But don't get on that job and put your focus into loyalty for them and trying to do all this for them. Nope, it's a stepping stone. You're not going to be there forever. Focus on you. Focus on the money. That's not selfish, because the moment they get tired of you, you best believe you out the door. They ain't even got to give you a reason why you gone. So just know, it's not about them, it's about you. Do your best while you there, but focus on that money. Don't let nobody tell you different. I'm telling you, I had to learn that the hard way. And nowadays, you know, I worked all them years, put in all them years for that job, and I don't have a dime to show for it. I wasn't saving, I ain't know none of that. So yeah, listen at me on this now. Alright, so now that you're working, if you still living with somebody else, like a family member or something like that, I want to tell you something. Money changes people. As much as we don't want to admit it, money changes people, especially when they having a hard time. If you having to live with somebody who's behind on their rent and you get a job, you best believe they finna want some money. They finna want you to come up off something. Like, it's a blessing that they let you live there without bringing in any money. That right there is straight love. But money can change people. So if you start working and you start noticing changes in people, already, put this in the back of your mind already. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. People have to live. And they can't let you just live in their house. They behind on all these bills and you over here making money just freely, whatever. It don't work like that. So if you live with someone, even when you don't have a job, sit down, talk to them, ask them, be clear on exactly what they expect. If you can, when you start working, get an agreement in writing. That'll be the best thing you can do. But if not, y'all sit down, talk about it, and get an understanding. Okay, so I got this job. I do want to save money so I can get out your house. How much what bill can I pay? Or how much can I pay you for living here? Or whatever. Excuse me. Y'all just come to an agreement on the amount of money. Be clear, because money can cause a lot of misunderstandings. So as long as y'all clear up front, it shouldn't be any problem. And it's best to try to get it in writing. And that way, both of y'all will know what was agreed on. Because people tend to forget. But just know that you're going to have to pay them something. You're going to have to pay a bill. Or if they want you to pay rent to them. Or just something. I mean, they got to live too. And they can't support you as an adult. Like if your own parents ain't going to support you as an adult, you can't expect no other person to. Because remember, nobody owes you anything. And remember that. I tell my kids that all the time. Remember, nobody owes you anything. Know that as long as you got your health and strength, baby, you can get out there and get it. You're not a victim. You can get it. So I want y'all to know that too. I ain't just telling you that. I tell my kids that. All right, ladies, females. Okay, in my case, when I got kicked out, it was my boyfriend. I went to go live with his family. Every time I got kicked out, they would take me in. And they were such a blessing to me for doing that. Just because a lot of my family didn't even know what was going on. But it was just a blessing that they was. But let me tell you this. When you out here and you with your boyfriend or your or girlfriend, but when y'all get to living together, having this free time together and stuff, y'all know what y'all gonna be doing. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Y'all know what y'all gonna be doing. It feel good. Everybody do it. Everybody enjoy it. I mean, okay. But you are responsible for yourself. If you know that you're in this bad situation and you know that sex brings about babies, don't you dare. You better protect your womb at all costs. Men, you better protect your semen at all costs. Do you hear me? Don't bring a baby into it nowhere, because you ain't ready. That baby will just suffer. That child will suffer. And then think about the hard times that is ahead. You don't know what's gonna go on. But look, God's plan is for you to be married before you start making babies. So put that in your mind. Babies is for my husband. Babies is for my wife. If you know you're gonna be out here doing the thing, do the thing. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. But be responsible. If you go out here and make a baby, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be your fault, because I already warned you. Be responsible. You don't need that in that situation. I don't care if you're a male or a female. It's your job to protect your womb. It's your job to protect your semen. Don't expect the person you laying down with to do it. Don't expect nothing from nobody but you. It don't matter what they telling you. A dude telling you, I'm not going to put it in you. No. The only person that you can trust is yourself, because it feel good. Oops, he going to make that accident. No, don't you let that happen. Let me tell you what you do. Use birth control. Make sure you use protection. A lot of people say, don't use birth control because it's bad for your body. Man, look, food causes cancer. Everything bad for your body. You can't eat Doritos is bad. Oreos is bad for your body. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people gonna throw them things out like that. It could cause this, it could cause that. Do your own research and look it up and figure out for yourself. Another thing that I will tell you, Usually when it's like that, girlfriend and boyfriend, and then y'all been dating for a while too, and all that, folks get quick to ask you when y'all gonna have a baby. It be the adults though. It be the adults. Usually they be single or they don't have no real guidance or nothing. They life ain't about nothing. They be the main ones. When y'all gonna have a baby? Y'all been together so long. No, it's trickery, honey. It's trickery. Don't listen at that. Put that out your head. Don't let nobody. Don't listen. That's your child. When you have that baby, you want to make sure that baby come in the world loved. You want to make sure that baby come in the world right. And you can't do that if you're not in a position to get yourself right. Tune out everything on the outside that tells you to bring a baby in when your life ain't stable. When you not married, when y'all not. If you can't support yourself 100% 2 times, don't bring no baby into it. Period. Do everything that you can to avoid it. And I mean that part. STDs. That's another thing. Not using protection. It happens. I mean, it happens so often. That don't mean it's the end of the world. You have some that you can cure. You have some that can't be cured. But if you don't have any type of insurance, any type of anything, your local health clinic, local health department, it'll be like whatever county, your county health department, you can Google it, find the phone number, call them, and make an appointment. When you go to them, they cannot turn you around because of non-payment. If you don't have the money, they still have to see you. A lot of times, they will apply for Medicaid for you or apply for some type of assistance for you, or they'll help you get something like that started. But they offer so much information. I still use them right to this day. I'm a 38-year-old married woman still on birth control. People told me not to get on birth control, not to get on this and that or whatever. They gonna tell you, don't get on the pills because you're gonna get pregnant. But the issue is the pills gotta be taken at the same exact time every day on time, because you moving, you're messing with your hormones. So if you take it in the morning today, it'll get your hormones at a certain level, and then the next day you take it in the evening, your hormones, it just get it out of whack. And that's what makes it easier to get pregnant on them pills. But if you take them right, then they have that whatever 90-some% chance of working. I chose the birth control shot because you go get the shot once every 12 weeks, and then you don't really have to focus on taking no pills or something every day. Now, everybody in the world that I know, all the women say, don't get on that shot because it's going to make you fat. Don't get on. Listen, exercise, eat God's food, follow this stuff. Don't worry about that stuff people saying. Don't let nobody discourage you. Get on that shot. Shot, unwanted baby. Shot, unwanted baby. Pill, unwanted baby. They got patches, unwanted baby. I mean, go to your health clinic. They will go through and explain to you. They have signs on the wall you can read. I read them every time I go, telling you the different types of birth control. I ask questions. They go out their way. I ain't saying every place is like this. Some people just have rude workers, but don't focus on that. Just get the knowledge you need. But they help me so much. I'm almost 40 and I'm still getting so much information from them every time I go. Use that. You can get STD testing from there. So you broke, you don't have no money, you living with somebody else, you don't have no insurance, you don't have nothing. That don't mean you got to run around here full of nothing. Go to the health clinic, get checked. Females, if you notice a fishy smell down there, that might mean that your pH balance is off. That's not usually indicating of an STD. That just means that your balance is off down there. You can go to your local health clinic and tell them that you believe your pH balance is off. You have that fishy smell. They'll check you, look under the microscope. If they see that bad bacteria, they're gonna prescribe you some antibiotics. And the one that I go to, they'll give them to you right there in the office. I done had to deal with that before. Many kids and stuff I done had. So yeah, I mean, I messed my pH up trying to put some nerd on now. So, I'm just being real. Use their health clinic. That's what they there for. Okay. And then, another thing, if you have like an ID already and certain stuff, I can go to my local health clinic and get a birth certificate, and they'll print it out right then and there for like $12. So, I don't know, depending on what state you're in, I don't really know how every state works, but I know that at my local health clinic, as long as you have certain proofs of ID, then you can order your birth certificate right then and there. for $12. But just know they cannot turn you away because of not having the money, and a lot of times they will go out their way to help you. Okay, remember this. You're going to have to trust people to be who they are. If your parents mistreated you, if your parents just did wrong, listen, I got put out, I did all that. And I spent my whole 20s chasing love from them same people who did me wrong. Even some of my 30s, I spent all that time chasing a love that was never there. And I know it was never there. But, I really just started, being honest with myself. Don't expect love from people who ain't never loved you. Don't expect good treatment from people who done treated you bad all your life. Be realistic with yourself and do it now. Right now, I'm almost 40 and I'm still crying to get this childhood trauma out of me. I'm regretting, even though I shouldn't probably, but I regret all them 20s that I spent chasing after these people who didn't really love me, and it just kept hurting me. I'm 30, just kept hurting me. I don't want to see nobody go through that. So I just want you to be honest with yourself. Trust people to be who they are. If your parent is an alcoholic and they ain't trying to change, just know they gonna do the same stuff they always did, as long as they're alcohol in them. If they on drugs, or if they cuss you, if they abuse you, call you out your name, hurt your feelings and stuff, trust them to be the person that they always shown you that they are, until they show you that they're not that person. But don't expect happiness from nobody. Don't expect nobody to make you feel good. All that's going to have to come with you. But it's going to come from that seeking God and getting that understanding from God. But listen, if a person is a liar, expect them to lie. If a person is a thief, put your purse up. Put your wallet up around them. Just do what I say on that. Protect your own self now from that hurt. Because I'm telling you, you don't want to go through that hurt. You don't. Okay, another thing, I put respect is earned. Don't be a pushover. So, I respect everybody until they give me a reason not to. But you get on jobs, and a lot of times it be the ones who been there forever, got seniority or whatever. Just depending on the situation. People will try to push over you. A lot of times when people know you in a bad situation and you need their help, they will try to get over you. Do what you gotta do. If you have more than one resource to get money or something, make sure you're doing right by them people to keep them resources available to you. Because if this person decides to switch up on you today, what are you gonna do if you done already messed over this other person? Don't be a pushover, but just know respect is earned. And you need to respect people until they give you a reason not to. But when they give you a reason not to, trust them to be who they are. Don't, just be real with yourself. But also, you do have to be willing. When something not right. Like whenever you on a job and somebody making you do all their work because you knew or something like that. When things not right, and when it don't feel right. So also, they should be respecting you. Know that you deserve to be there just as much, a loud truck. But just know that you deserve to be there just as much as they deserve to be there. And they are not better than you. And don't be a pushover. That don't mean get mad or get angry. You still gotta handle things in a professional way. But you're gonna have to learn how to navigate through life and all that. But just know, set boundaries. You're gonna set boundaries. Okay. Ooh, Lord. This one right here. I've only been saying this one recently just because I feel it so strong with the way America is going right now. But if you're over the age of 18 and you're able to buy you a gun, listen, if you're a good person, you need one. You know why? What are these bad people out here in the world doing? They just film each other. They robbing us good people. They just doing, bad people just doing all kind of things with them pews, right? You need one to protect yourself. If you got money and you got the ability and you old enough and you legally can get it, do that. Be responsible. Learn safety. And I'm talking to females and males. This is to both of y'all. Learn how to use them, learn safety, learn how to keep them safe. You know, it ain't to flash, it ain't to point at nobody, it ain't to play with. You know, you have to be responsible about it. But I'm telling you, in today's age, it's so many bad people in this world to where it's scary not to be able to protect your own self. You know, you at a gas station trying to pump gas and somebody with a pew-pew come want your money. You know, that situation recently happened to my husband at the ATM. Somebody just rolled up on him, and you know, if he didn't have his pew-pew in his armrest, acting like he was going to his armrest to get his card, his money, but if he didn't have it right there and wasn't able to pull it back, that person took off. You know what I'm saying? But look, you got to be able to protect yourself in some type of way. Get you something. It ain't got to be a pew-pew. It can be just something. Get you something to protect yourself. And then I also put, always plan to be self-sufficient and work towards financial freedom as soon as possible. So what I mean by self-sufficient is you on Medicaid right now, you done apply for government assistance, but that's not the plan to stay on it. You should always want to be able to take care of your own self with your own money, your own kids. You can take care of them. You can do all that. And you want to be able to be financially free so that you're not living paycheck to paycheck like I've always done and many other people until I started learning. Over here close to 40, but you young, baby. I'm telling you, learn it now. Set it in your mind. This is only temporary. All of this is only temporary. Always plan to be self-sufficient. You don't want to stay on government assistance forever. I'm telling you, it controls your life. You can only make a little bit of money. And you know what? I find it ridiculous that when I was on government assistance and working a job, I could give them my check stub, my bills and stuff like that, and they give it to me like that. But I got fired from a job, no fault of my own. And when I say they buckled down on me, like they needed they needed so much more information. They needed I can't tell you how much more information they needed. Just stuff that didn't even make sense. So the less money you got, really, to me, is like the harder that it is to get help. And so they require more forms and all that. So just know that, and DHS, it's not easy to navigate. It's, you know, it's like none of them, they don't know. None of the people know the same stuff. Everybody tell you something different. You got to just really, it's trial and error almost. You got to do it, learn on your own. But that's why you want to plan to move away from that. You don't want to stay with them forever. You want to be able to take care of yourself and not live paycheck to paycheck. That's why I tell you don't make no baby. Because the moment you make a baby, you might as well go and throw that out the window because you already don't have nothing. Now you really finna have to get on government assistance and stay on there for a while and get help and all that. And then it's going to be really hard to get a job because who going to babysit for you? You already living with somebody else. If they want you living there, you know. So they sure ain't finna babysit for you. And then, you know, they don't want to hear no baby crying. If they ain't got, yeah, that's why I say avoid that at all costs. My son, my own son, made a baby at 17. And so right now, you know, he going to college and he having to stay at home and take care of his baby. Now, will I put him out? Of course not, because he's going to college and he had started working, but had to let that go because the baby is mostly living with us. And so he have a lot of responsibility right now. But just imagine 17, going to college with a baby, trying to work. You got to ask your parents for gas money. You got to ask for this, ask for that. I mean, that's not comfortable, but nobody owes you anything either, and you have to be accountable for your own actions. So, I mean, you know, just know that. But I want to encourage y'all. That's the end of my list right here. But I just want to encourage y'all. One important thing is to always plan ahead. One thing that I didn't know that I know now. You can plan your life. You can plan your life. You don't have to just let life go however it go or whatever. If you always know what you want, if you always set goals, write them down. When you get that notebook and you make your plan, write it down. Okay, my first goal is to get my ID and birth certificate and stuff. And then second goal, get a job. Third goal, save up $6,000 because, you know, you're going to need the first and last month rent plus a deposit on some places. And then you're going to need to be able to pay them bills, to get them cut on, get lights and everything. So you're going to need a good amount. So figure out how much money you're going to need to save, or set that as a goal. And then, just everything that you planning on doing with your life, set that as a goal. And as you making that progress, mark it off your list. Just mark it off your list. That right there is the most accomplishing feeling right there. Another thing, when it comes to money, people say you don't need to be saving, you need to invest. But the part that they don't explain to you is you need to have an emergency fund saved up. That's why I tell you look at the zero-based budgeting and budgeting on YouTube, cash envelope, stuff like that. You need to have your emergency fund saved up. You need to have some future bill payments and rent payments and whatever else. You need to have that saved up too. So like people who's out here investing in stocks and stuff, they not investing in stocks living paycheck to paycheck. They have an emergency fund. They have about 3 to 6 months of rent and expenses saved up. So don't get confused on that. I used to think like, dang, I need to be investing, but how can I invest if I'm living paycheck to paycheck and I can't even get my life together? One car breakdown and I'm through. I'm through. I got to ask somebody for help. I got to do, instead of having money saved up when you can do it yourself. So don't get confused on that. Saving is the first step. Don't let nobody tell you it's not. Save up you enough money to be comfortable and then start investing. But you got to, while you saving, start learning about investing. Like everything that you want to learn in the future, start learning beforehand. Don't wait until it's time. You need to be prepared. That's why I say plan ahead. Organize your life. If you have to write out a schedule, a daily schedule, okay, I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m. I'm going to brush my teeth at 7:15. I'm going to eat breakfast at 7:30. If you got to do it like that, then that's what you got to do. Do what works for you. Don't never let nobody's judgment make you feel a certain way, because you on this earth to live for God. You're not on this earth to live for other people. So just know that keep the focus on you. Know that this is not the end of the world. Know that things will get better. You're not stuck. You're not a victim. You're not going to stay there forever in that bad situation. And understand this. If you do like I said and keep an open mind, question everything, but seek God and pray, things will get harder before they get better. Understand this. The harder things get, the more I want you trusting in God. If things getting hard for you, and you not understanding, come back to this video, jump in the comments, say, look, I'm doing the stuff you say, I'm praying and all that, but I'm not understanding why things get hard. Look, we can talk about it. I don't care. We can inbox or whatever, but we can talk about it because it's stuff that I've been through. And that walk, it might seem like it get harder before it get easier, but God will test you and God will make sure that you're strong, because 9 times out of 10, if you're a person who been through a lot of that stuff, it's a reason. It's a reason why. It's because you special. You went through that for a reason. God wants you to testify to the world, or God wants to teach the world things through your story. It's a reason why. So ask God for that clarity and that understanding on that too. But I don't want to turn it into a preaching session or nothing like that, but I do want to let y'all know that I am here for anybody who have questions. I am willing to help in the best way that I can. Like I said, I'm on Facebook, or either jump in these comments, but in order to have a better conversation, hit me up on Facebook. I don't mind, as long as I'm not too busy. Now, if I'm too busy, I might just tell you I don't have to. It depends, but I'll go out my way to try to help anybody I can. But I want you to know that it's not the end of the world. I want you to focus on yourself. But look, I'm finna end this video off when I tell you don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Don't bring no baby into it. Do not do it. It's not time yet. that baby will only suffer. It'll make life harder for you. It don't matter how many people in your ear asking you when y'all gonna have a baby. It don't matter how many. If you know that your life ain't right, if you can't take care of yourself 100% times 2, then a wasp. Then that baby got to go. That wasp just came through my bathroom window. I'm finna have to go. Like, this is a scary moment for me, y'all. I gotta get that fly swatter. But anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe to my channel. Do you hear that wasp, baby? I got to go. I love y'all. Have a blessed. The thing way up at the top. I got my fly swatter. I gotta wait for him to come down. It's too high. Oh, I can't do bugs. They not for me.